Imagine stepping into one of the busiest airports in America, only to be greeted by a political message blaming one side of Congress for the chaos, right there at the security line. That's exactly what some airports are doing during the ongoing government shutdown, but not Salt Lake City International. Why? Because they've chosen to take a stand against turning public spaces into partisan battlegrounds. And this is the part most people miss. In a polarized nation, even something as simple as an airport video can spark heated debates about government, politics, and free speech. But here's where it gets controversial. Does this decision protect neutrality, or is it just another way to dodge accountability? Let's dive into the details and see what you think. The U.S. federal government shutdown has now stretched into its third week, creating ripples that affect countless aspects of daily life. From halted funding for essential services to unpaid federal workers, the impacts are widespread. Think about it. Even airport security checkpoints, which are crucial for keeping travelers safe and on schedule, fall under federal oversight. This means the Transportation Security Administration, TSA, employees who check your bags and ensure no prohibited items slip through, are directly caught in the crossfire. In the last few days, numerous airports across the country have begun broadcasting a pre-recorded video from Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. In this roughly 30-second clip, she squarely points the finger at Democratic lawmakers in Congress for the shutdown that kicked off on October 1st. For context, you can find more about that initial shutdown here. https://www.tsl.article5132945 Government shutdown begins as partisan division rules Washington. The video emphasizes the TSA's commitment to providing you with a smooth, secure airport experience, but then pivots to criticism. However, Democrats in Congress refuse to fund the federal government, and because of this, many of our operations are impacted. And most of our TSA employees are working without pay. It urges viewers to hope that Democrats will soon recognize the importance of opening the government to minimize travel disruptions. You can watch the full video here. https://www.rapidresponse47 status 19668784674416. Yet Salt Lake City International Airport has joined a growing list of U.S. airports that are skipping this message altogether. Airport officials were requested to play the video on Thursday, but after consulting with city attorneys, they concluded it would breach a Utah state law prohibiting municipal employees from using city-owned equipment for political activities. Nancy Vollmer, a spokeswoman for Salt Lake City International Airport, explained this on Tuesday. She clarified that the monitors where the video would air are owned and operated by the city, making political content off limits. This is not a partisan issue. This is totally based on political messaging, she emphasized, highlighting that the choice stems from legal guidelines rather than political leanings. To understand the shutdown's roots, it's helpful to know that it started when the previous funding agreement passed by Congress expired at the end of September. Since then, Republicans and Democrats have been deadlocked on a new federal budget. Democrats are pushing to extend tax breaks for millions benefiting from the Affordable Care Act, which are set to vanish by year's end unless renewed. Republicans, holding the majority in Congress, have expressed willingness to address this separately from the overall budget, a sticking point that's fueling the division. For a deeper look, USA Today has reported on this. https://www.usatoday.com/story/news/politics/2025/federal government shutdown 2025. Interestingly, public opinion polls reveal that Americans aren't buying into a one-sided narrative. Surveys show broad agreement that both parties share the blame. A recent Reuters Ipsos poll from last week, available at https:// www.reuters.com/world/woos blame shutdown all above Reuters Ipsos poll finds 2025 10-09 indicated that 67% of respondents believe Republicans deserve a fair amount or a great deal of blame, while 63% say the same about Democrats. Even President Donald Trump, a Republican, was seen as culpable by nearly two-thirds of those polled. Similarly, a Harvard-Harris poll conducted right at the shutdown start. You can access the key results here, https://harvardharrispoll.com, WP Content, Uploads, 2025 10-HHP SEP 2025 Key Results.pdf, found 53% blaming Republicans and 47% pointing to Democrats. This balanced view suggests the public is weary of finger-pointing and eager for solutions. But here's where it gets controversial again. Noem's video aligns with other messages from Trump administration agencies, including the TSA itself. On October 1st, the TSA's official Twitter account posted that funding had lapsed due to the partisan politics of left-wing politicians, noting that most employees are exempt or accepted and will keep working, while others are on furlough. See https://1973-4474-286949. Critics might argue this is a fair call-out to hold accountable lawmakers. But supporters of the airports opting out could counter that it turns neutral government services into political platforms, potentially eroding public trust. And this is the part most people miss. Other major airports are making similar choices. Places like Harry Reid International in Las Vegas, Seattle Tacoma International, and Charlotte Douglas International have also refused to air the video, as reported by CNN earlier this week. /www.cnn.com US/Kristi Noem TSA video. For instance, the Port of Portland in Oregon cited the Hatch Act of 1939, a federal law designed to prevent using public resources for political campaigning, as the reason for their decline, as shared with Newsweek. https://www.newsweek.com/full-list airports refusing Kristi Noem's shutdown. The Hatch Act, in simple terms, protects government neutrality by banning political activities on public time or with public funds. Much like how a teacher shouldn't use school equipment to endorse a candidate. Salt Lake City's decision wasn't influenced by these other airports, Vollmer noted. They arrived at it independently. She added that it's unclear if this could lead to repercussions from the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees TSA, or political figures in Utah. We're just following the law, and that's why we're not airing the messages, she reiterated. Contributing, Adam Small. The key takeaways for this article were generated with the assistance of large language models and reviewed by our editorial team. The article itself is solely human-written. Now, what do you think? Is it right for airports to block political videos during a shutdown? Or should they let the messages play to inform the public? Do you see this as protecting against bias or unfairly silencing government officials? Share your take in the comments. Do both sides deserve blame, or is one party more at fault? Let's discuss.